Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Sparkle. This is going to be a classic, well-rounded yoga flow focusing on the shoulders. So if you're careful and respectful of your shoulders, by the end you're going to feel a huge relief of tension and so much more lightness and space. Thanks so much for joining me. Let's get started. Let's come to hands and knees. And we'll just do a little bit of cat-cow. So inhale, arching your spine, pulling the shoulder blades towards each other and lengthening the sides of the throat to gaze up. And then exhale, press the earth away and round. So right away as we begin to move and breathe, we connect to these two things. So you're moving after your breath. Kind of like your breath is a wave and you're riding the wave with your movement. So following the breath as we go. Exhale, pressing the earth away, pulling the low belly in and up. And inhale, arching and really trying to get the full range of motion of your heart. Reaching forward and looking up towards the sky. Just get into the flow of it. So you can think of it like, sometimes I like to think of the yoga practice as like going sailing or going on a journey. And what I mean by that is once you start, there's no turning back, right? So we have committed ourselves to face the unknown or maybe unacknowledged parts of ourselves for the greater good. A couple more times. Just see if you can breathe more enthusiastically. So when you're breathing in, there's a exhilaration, feeling of exhilaration through the nostrils. And same thing, exhaling, pulling the belly in with energy. Inhale. And exhale. Let's take downward facing dog. And right away, take the left leg up to the sky, but we're going to take it up without turning the hips open. So it's a little bit of a different down dog splits experience. Keep the left toes pointing down. Lift the front ribs in. And with the inner thigh of the top leg rolling up towards the sky. So we're going to lift the top leg higher, but lift it from the inner edge to keep the hips square. From there, press the right hip, that's your bottom leg, away from your heart. So the right thigh bone is moving back in space and down through the heel. Keep lifting the undersides of the arms, the upper arms. Lift into the back of the ribs. And one more time from the heart, stretch back through the right hip, down through the right heel. And with the inner thigh leading, lift the top leg. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands, bring the back knee down. That's a lot right away, isn't it? Inhale, reach your arms out and up to the sky. So low lunge. Picture frame overhead, so hands to opposite, fingertips to opposite elbows. Inhale, lift up through the heart. And we're going to take our frame and our beautiful faces over to the left. Through side bending and lifting up from the back leg, from the hip up into the heart, all the way up through the armpit up to the elbow. Inhale, come back to center, arms to the sky. Sink the hips a little bit more as the heart lifts. Exhale. down dog. Same thing, pawing the front of the mat with the hands firmly. Reach the right leg up to the sky, but keep the toes pointing down. Lead with the inner edge of the top leg. And this is the key action. From the heart, lift the undersides of the arms and press down through the hands. And then from the heart, stretch up into the left hip so that the thigh bone moves back in space. Whew, and down through the heel. And again, breathe and bubble up through the back of the heart. Press down through the hands. Stretch the bottom hip back in space, down through the heel. Inhale, lift the leg, the top leg from the inner thigh so the toes are pointing down, feet are flexed. Take a big breath into the stretch. Exhale, step through between the hands, back knee down. Inhale. Same thing, picture frame, opposite elbows overhead. Lift up through the heart. So we want to press length up into the crown of the head until we can feel how that connects to the hip, especially the back leg. So as you lunge forward into the front thigh, lift up into the back ribs, up into the elbows, and leaning to the right. Keep pressing down through the back shin into the earth and lifting up into the back ribs, up into the front of the heart. Inhale, unwind, deepen into the hips towards the earth, stretch up into the heart, into the hands, and exhale. Step to the front of the mat, take a half lift, and notice where your half lift goes to. So we're lifting the heart to where the hips are, and then lift a little bit more so that we're using the back muscles. So you'll take the hands off the legs for a moment and curl the shoulders onto the back. The fingertips may move up to the thighs. And curl up like you're doing Cobra Pose, pressing your fingertips into your thighs. Keep the legs straight and curl away from the ground. Exhale, release. Interlace the hands behind you. Send the shoulder blades up and over. Release the hands. Let's sweep the arms out to the sides, coming all the way up to stand. Hook the thumbs. Looks like this. Thumbs hooked. Lift the toes, press down evenly into both legs, and keep the center of gravity split 50-50 between both legs as you stretch up through the heart. And lean up and over to the right. So there's another side bend. And I'm noticing my left foot is lightening. So I'm leaning into that foot. You do the same. Inhale to center. Into the back ribs. Into the back of the head even to get tall. Press through the right foot so it's anchored as you lean to the left. Inhale to the sky. Just the arms are going to move. So scoop the tail, arms behind you. Bend the elbows with your knuckles on your tailbone like this. Roll the shoulders back in space. And press the knuckles into the tailbone to roll the back of the pelvis down. Lift up through the heart. And lean back. We're working towards some shoulder openers here. So this is our first one. What we want to do is lengthen up from the waist, up the side ribs, into the heart. From the heart, stretch across the outer shoulders and back through the tips of the elbows. One more deep breath. Tail down, heart up, extend through the elbows. Inhale from the back of the heart, lift up, arms to the sky. And exhale, fold. Let's do that flat back position again, hands to shins. So we do it the normal way, and by normal is habitual. We do it the way we would without thinking. And then we call upon ourselves to move with more of a sort of deep purpose for this movement. Fingertips away from the shins, and then curl shoulder blades onto the back. Bring the fingertips to the thighs, press the thighs away. And get the feeling of a cobra or a locust pose where you're curling away from the ground. See how high you can go. Not pulling the head back, but lifting up and evenly extending through the whole spine. One more deep breath. Heart to the sky. Awesome. Exhale, fold. All right, let's step back to plank. And lower down. Roll the shoulders onto the back. The regular cobra pose. And just see how it feels here after doing that flat back position. We're kind of prepared ourselves for this moment with our flat back practice. So one more deep breath. The upper arms roll back. Really get some space from the back of the heart up to the base of the skull. And exhale, press up to hands and knees. Let's do half dog. So walk the hands forward, forehead down. And then once you're in it, this can be kind of a playful moment. Rocking side to side, bringing the right temple, right elbow to the ground. And then all the way across the forehead. Left temple, left elbow down. See if there's any information about the shoulders that you can be accepting here, right? So if you're anything like me, I'm acknowledging and accepting some knots back there. All right, inhale, Sphinx Pose. So the elbows can stay down. You'll come through knees and elbows. Hips come down. Lift up through the heart. Tuck the toes. Lengthening through the back of the neck. Lift the pelvis. We're doing a modified forearm plank. Scoop the tail big time to engage the belly. And then do it again. Big time, tailbone goes down. Shoulder blades move on to the back. One more deep breath. Exhale, lower all the way down. Let's do Cobra one more time. Shoulders collect into the back of the heart, curling up. Get a little taller this time. Back to down dog. All right, here we go again with a down dog splits practice in a new way. Left leg to the sky. Keep leading with the inner thigh of the left leg. And just notice how much space there is from the lift of the heart to stretch back into the bottom hip. So that side really tends to shorten without us knowing it. Extend down through the bottom heel. So we're using the position of the top leg as a boundary. We open the hip and it's easy to forget what's going on with the bottom leg. So from the heart, stretching up and back again. Exhale. Step the left foot between the hands. Turn the back toes out. Let's do warrior one. So glide forward into the strength of the front thigh. Arms to the sky. Exhale, arms behind you, interlace. Rolling the shoulders back towards each other. Let's take the Interlaced hands to the outside of the right hip. So you're going to press your knuckles into the right hip and push it forward. From there, lengthen the tail. Lift up through the heart. Try to make this about the back leg. So as you lunge forward into the front thigh and roll the back hip forward, we're isolating the stretch into the back hip. Scoop the tail and now lift off the waist up into the heart. Up and out and wide with the front of the heart as you lean back into the pose. Exhale, now dive inside the front knee, sending the knuckles up and overhead. Release the hands. Release the back knee to the ground. Low lunge. We did this one. New arm position. So take the arms to the sky. And then on an exhale, arms go forward with the right elbow on top. We're wrapping up into eagle. From here, press the elbows away from your heart and up, elbows to eye level if you can. Couple breaths here. One more time, lift the elbows a little higher. And then from the back of the heart, reach forward through the elbows. Let's do that one more time. Elbows go up, maybe even just an inch. And then from the back of the heart, go forward. And then from that place where the stretching sensation is across the back, lift up, curl back. See how much you can reach up and over as the thighs go forward. Inhale, unwind, arms to the sky, and exhale, down dog. And other side, right leg to the sky, toes pointing down. The theme for today. Lift the undersides of the arms and press the earth away. As you, from the center of the heart, reach back through the left thigh. So we want to physically move the left hip back in space until you feel a stretch in the left hip. From that stretching place, stretch down into the heel. Reach up. You can reach through the lines of the legs too. So from the pelvis through the thighs, both at once, both shins at once, both heels at once. Exhale. Step through between the hands. We've got warrior one. Turn the back toes out. Sit deep into the front thigh. Inhale, arms up. Warrior one. With some different arm positions. So hands behind you, interlace. First, just take a moment and fully collect the shoulder blades towards each other on the back. From there, take the knuckles to the outside of the left hip. And this is pretty active. The hands will press into the hip and help the outside of the hip roll forward. Scoop the tailbone down. Reach up through the front of the heart. And keep lunging forward. So from the pelvis forward through the front knee. Again, from the pelvis up through the sides of the heart. Remember the elbow tips from earlier. So from the heart, stretch back across the shoulders and out through the tips of the elbows. Again, one more time. Inhale from the back heel connecting. Lift the heart up. And exhale, diving inside the front knee. Shoulder blades roll all the way over. See if you can wiggle the belly further inside the front thigh. So we want to kind of snuggle our way down towards the earth as much as we can. One more deep breath. And back to a low lunge. Back knee comes down. Arms to the sky. Exhale. Left elbow on top. So it's a very familiar arm position here. Eagle arms. Take the elbows up to eye level. And for me, it becomes brand new again. So once you get to that new place with the lift, from the back of the heart, stretch forward through the elbows. And then maybe one more inch or two. Same thing, spreading the back of the heart. See if you can get the feeling of space like a light, like a sunshine at the back of the heart, spreading through the shoulder blades and curling up. One more deep breath, low belly to heart, to elbows, to curl up and back. Unwind and release. Step back to down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. Shoulders onto the back. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Let's linger here for a moment. Stretch up through the crown of the head as you press through the arms. Your arms are basically your legs here. So from the heart, you want to stretch down into the palms. So the length of the arms will get you even taller in the pose. So reach up. Exhale. Down dog. Move the shoulder blades around in down dog. So you're letting the shoulder blades fully onto the back of the heart. Maybe taking them on a little bit of a figure 8 journey here. Remember the feeling from down dog splits where we stretch the hips away? We're going to do it here, but in down dog with both legs at once. So lifting up through the undersides of the arms. Press the hands forward. You're pawing down through the root of your thumb, the root of the index finger, and from the heart, stretch back into the thighs. Lengthening the side waist. Again, undersides of the arms lift. Puff up into the back of the heart where we were stretching and making a sunshine a moment ago, and go back through the thighs, down through the heels. Whew. Gaze forward. Top to the front. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale. Hands in prayer. All right, for the shoulders. Standing on your right foot. We're going to take the left hand into dancer's pose, Natarajasana, but with the thumb pointing up, palm out, and then catch the inside of the foot. So right here, take the right arm, that's your free arm, across to the left side of the chest. And simultaneously, before even going into the pose, we want to set ourselves up. Lift up into the hand. Reach the left side of the chest forward. Scoop the tail. And roll the left shoulder back in space. Again, tailbone down. From the low belly, lift up into the heart. So if I do this just right, I feel a stretch before even going into the pose, which is where I want to go with you all today. So we're going into the left shoulder. Keep moving the left side of the chest forward into the hand. Keep scooping down through the tail. And then we don't have to go far into it. Just keep moving from the left side of the chest forward a little at a time. And roll the left shoulder blade back in space, kicking the foot into the hand. So what I find is I go much less deep into the pose, but the experience for the shoulder is much more focused. You can take the right arm forward. Make it about taking the left side of the heart forward, kicking the foot into the hand, and the side body length on each inhale from the tailbone scooping down, rippling up through the low belly, through the heart. Inhale from the low belly, lift up into the heart to come up. Exhale, release. So we're taking sort of a different path into a familiar pose to make a new experience. Other side, here we go. So right hand, thumb pointing up inside the arch of the foot. Make sure that you're externally rotated here. I know people have different ways of doing this rotation. There's an inner rotation trick that I see with the tip of the elbow pointing out. We don't want that. We want the tip of the elbow pointing down. Full external rotation, rolling your thumb out, grabbing the inside of the foot. Take the left hand to the right side of the heart as a reminder of what we're doing, basically. From here, scoop the tail down, stretch from the right hip down into the right knee with the tailbone scooping, and lift forward with the right side of the chest into the hand. Keep the right shoulder blade rolling more deeply onto the back of the heart, and move from the right side of the chest, leading your way forward. Again, stretch the right shoulder back and the right side of the chest forward. That's basically the pose. On an inhale from the low belly, you can take the arm forward. So we want to take out the going forward and kicking of it, and think about it just in terms of the right shoulder. So the right side of the chest goes forward, tailbone scoops down, lift the heart up. Inhale from the low belly, lift up into the heart to come all the way out. Both hands to the sky, and exhale, fold. Whew. Inhale, let's do our flat back practice again. Hands to shins. Do it the old way, we'll call it that. And then curl more. And you'll notice my shoulder blades are pretty far forward here. They're almost completely dropped. I'm gonna move them onto the back and bring the fingertips to the thighs. Press the thighs back. And then curl up from the sides of the ribs, up to the shoulders, back, even as almost as if the elbows are going to move towards each other to touch behind my back. Scoop the tail down, curl again from the heart, bring the shoulder blades in, elbows to touch. Of course they won't, but one more breath. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Roll the arms over. Let the head go. A moment of release here. You can even let the arms go and just have some sort of neutralizing, shaking out moment in your forward fold. Inhale. Bend the knees, plant the palms, and we're going to step or hop back and lower all the way down to the ground. So from plank, hips and heart touch at the same moment. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Again with our theme, left leg to the sky, keep the toes pointing down, lift the inner thigh up, lift up into the back of the heart and stretch into the right hip and down into the heel. Big breath in, right hip moves back. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Let's do warrior two now. So back toes turn out, sweep the arms, ground into the thighs, interlace the hands behind you, roll the shoulder blades fully back towards each other, and this one's for the neck. So we lift up, the heart's going to go back slightly, and from there, take the right ear towards the right shoulder. Soft jaw. You can even let the mouth hang open here. Why not, right? So the mouth is open to keep the jaw soft. Take the same arm position now, taking the back arm, so the right arm all the way across. Pull with your left hand to sneak your fingertips all the way to the front thigh. Sit deep into the thigh, lift up through the chest, and let the right ear hang towards the right shoulder. From the back thigh, lift up and then stretch forward through the front thigh, scooping the left hip under. Take your left arm up and curl back. Move the right shoulder blade back in space. Press your fingertips into the front thigh. Stretch up, fill the top fingertips. Whew. Inhale, warrior two. Big breath in. Side ribs nice and full. Turn the palms up. Exhale, cartwheel. Into down dog. Feel the shoulders now. Whew, there's some layers of gunk in there. We gotta get that out. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Toes pointing down. Lift the undersides of the arms. Stretch back into the left hip. And exhale, step through. Warrior two, back toes turn out. Sweep up. Here we are, go deep into the front thigh. So I like to take a moment. This is how I get information on my shoulders. In your warrior two, it's a doorknob in each hand. Go all the way into the range of motion. So that is two things. It's your humerus, which is your upper arm bone, rotating in your shoulder joint. It's the shoulder blades going up and down a little bit. And it's the two bones in the forearms rotating around each other. Whew, there's a lot going on. Okay, hands behind you, interlace, roll the shoulder blades back and towards each other, lift up through the heart. As the front thigh sits low, lift up through the crown, take the left ear towards the left shoulder. Lazy jaw muscle here. Let it hang, hanging open. Lift up through the heart. Lift the tip of the chin slightly to get into the right side. Inhale, chin centered again. Let's take the arms. Can't really see as well, but you take your back arm all the way across. Use your front arm to slide it through. We're going to see if we can help to lengthen position. The elbow, this back arm draws in towards the spine so that you can reach all the way to the front thigh. You can see my little fingertips here, all the way around on the thigh. From there, just this is a pretty hard pose, isn't it? Lift up through the heart, sit deep into the front thigh, lift up through the heart again, sit deep in the front thigh one more time, lifting up. Oh my God. All right, let's do the neck again. So left ear towards the left shoulder. And then you can play with the right hand, that's your front arm. If you turn the palm to face up, sometimes that can deepen the stretch. Take the shoulder back in space. Reach through the fingertips.
You can play around with the hand position. Generally, open palm is gonna give you a little more. Lift from the back thigh up, so a little bit more buoyancy. So instead of sinking through the back leg, we want to lift up to get the center of gravity more over the back foot. And then chin to chest, take the front arm forward, side bend all the way up and back. With those fingertips crossing onto the front thigh, press as a reminder to sit low into the thigh. Lift up, kind of like your fingertips on the thigh is an anchor. Lift up through the heart, reach through the top arm. Inhale, unwind, exhale, all the way to the ground. Plank and release. Bend both knees. Sphinx pose for a moment, just so that we all get the breaks that we need. Have a little break, shins going side to side. I'm gonna do some shoulder variations, hand position variations in Dhanurasana. So we already started this in our dancer's pose. Let's take the traditional way first. So release down, take the hands with the thumbs pointing down, grab the outsides of the ankles. Forehead down, roll the shoulders towards each other, and then kick and lift. So this is our starting place. And it's a nice, familiar place to come back to. Roll your inner thighs towards each other, and then scoop the tailbone down to press into the earth to kick up. Oh my God. Let it go for a moment. Let the head go. Shins side to side. All right. Same hand position we did in dancer's pose. So you can start from Sphinx, you can start all the way down. I think either way works. We just want to be very aware of how the hands go. So you take the hand out to the side like you have a tray, take it back, grab the inside of the ankle with the thumb pointing up. And then kick the foot into the hand, reach back exactly the same way, do the other hand. So each hand gets a foot. Roll the shoulders up and back, scoop the tailbone down, and kick up. All right, now from here, can you wiggle your fingertips to get below the ankle onto your shin bone? Flex the feet, flatten the feet so that the heels are extending up towards the sky. Scoop the tail, kick and lift. Press your feet away from your heart. So you're pressing back to lift up through the front. Exact same feeling we had as the tailbone scoops down. Stretch forward through the heart and back through the upper arms. Exhale, release. One cheek on the mat, shins side to side. All right, it's been a long time since I've done this one, but that's okay. So we're gonna cross the wrists behind us and grab opposite feet. I don't know if you've ever done this one. I used to do it a lot. So you'll take the hand back, thumb pointing down, palm is facing in towards the midline, go over the first foot to the second foot. So you're grabbing opposite. And then somehow balance your weight, lengthening through the back of the neck. See if you can take your other arm across to find the opposite foot. Have to play around with it. So we're not crossing. I know some people like to cross the ankles here. Uncross your ankles if they're crossed It's the wrists that we want to cross. Scoop the tailbone down and kick and lift. Big one for the shoulders. Flex through the feet. Inner thighs roll towards each other. Tailbone scoops down. Lift as much of your heart off the ground as you can, looking up. Use your breath dynamically. Each inhale, lift the outer shoulders more. Lift the sides of the heart more. Carefully kick the feet into the hands a little bit more. Maybe the knees lift a little bit more. One more deep breath. Lift everything at once. And release. Whew. Inhale, cobra. So roll the shoulders back. We've got a child's pose coming. Get all the way back there. And let all your weight go in child's pose. All right, let's re-strengthen into those muscles that we just stretched. So come into knees and elbows. It's the Dolphin Pose coming next. So the forearms are going to stay down. It's down dog, but we're going to set up our foundation first. So first, get the shoulders over the elbows and get really melty through the back of the heart, letting that soften down. Kind of like your heart is going to drip from the center of the heart right towards the floor. From there, keep that soft contraction of the upper back. Lift up through the front of the ribs. So it's like cat pose with the heart melted. And then lift up through the thighs. And we'll practice just like we did. So first, we tend to be heavy in the elbows here. So put your weight even into the whole surface of the forearms, into the hands. Lift up through the left leg. Roll the inner thigh towards the sky. And we've been doing this the whole time, but make sure to keep the weight centered in both arms from side to side. Press away from the heart, up and back through the right hip. Exhale, put that foot down. Let's do the other side. So you can think of this like you're getting stretched, lengthened, like there's a string connecting to not only your right heel, but from the left hip. So the outer left hip is rolling back. So we're on our other side, right leg up. Press the weight evenly into the palms, the wrists, the elbows. Press the left thigh away. Inhale, up. Whew. Exhale, let it go. Sit on the heels. Arms to the sky. Exhale. Let's see if we can find a reverse prayer in here somewhere. Or frame behind your back. So take the hands. I'll go towards you so you can see. The fingertips go up. You want to go into this slowly. There's a lot of little muscles in the shoulders that we don't want to overwhelm. So I'm wiggling up my back very slowly to see how much I can actually process. If you feel the shoulders lifting up, you've gone too far. So we want the shoulder blades to soften down. And we want the palms to be able to move towards each other. Scoop the tail, pressing from the back of the heart into where the hands meet, and move the shoulders back in space. for the neck. Lift up through the front of the heart, but keep the back of the heart, the back full. Right ear towards the right shoulder, same way that we did in our warrior two. Lift the chin up. And we're going to trace a half moon shape. So chin to chest. Let's roll all the way to the other side. Left ear, left shoulder. And we don't stop there because there's more articulation as you lift the chin. That gets us into the scalenes and the sternocleidomastoid, the muscles on the right side of the neck. One more inhale, tilting the chin up. Let's do one more time each side. Chin to chest. To the right we go. See if you can get the stretch from the left shoulder all the way through the neck to the jaw and maybe even to the cheekbone or the temple on the left side. So you can play with the head position. See what feels best. Roll chin to chest. Other side. Since this is our second pass, see if you can let the right shoulder blade soften down even a little bit more. Moving the shoulder blades towards the back plane of the body. And take the full movement of the chin going up and down to get the whole right side of the neck. All right, inhale, release the hands. Sweep the arms up to the sky. And stand up on the knees. So we're having a moment, big stretching moment. Oh, my shoulders feel about brand new right now. I hope yours do too. Tuck the toes. Scoop the tail. Lift up from the pelvis, side body long, and big bright lift up into the heart. Take the hands back either to the waist or for camel pose, the tailbone scoops. And we ripple up and back, coming all the way to the heels if possible. So let's remember that the breath comes first. So the whole process of self-awareness comes from your breath, how your nervous system is reacting. See if you can become fully aware of that and customize the pose so that it feels like most deeply beneficial. So you can come out of it 10% or maybe even curl into it a little bit more, lifting the base of the heart up to the sky. There's even one more little thing I'll show you here. So you put the hands inside the heels and free up your fingertips so that the palms are pressing into the heels are pressing into the palms, and that friction, heels to palms, palms to heels, you can lift the heart up even more to get into the shoulders. It's all happening on the inhale. Widening the hands into the heels, resisting with the feet, lift up through the heart. All right, inhale. Coming out. Let's go back to down dog. Walk the feet back. Yeah, downward facing dog. Neutralizing down dog. So just kind of
pedaling around in your down dog. Take the ribs and the heart on a three-dimensional journey, kind of like a cat-cow, but more around in a big shape. All right, inhale, let's look forward. We'll step or hop to the front of the mat and release onto your butt. Take the hands back. We're going to do a couple more things for the shoulders. So lean all the way back. And then take your left hand up to the sky. And then with the palm facing towards you, take it all the way overhead. Right hand on the right ribs. Press the back of the ribs into the ground. And roll your tricep, so that's the upper left arm, in towards your face. Reach from the heart. See if you can connect the base of the heart to the left fingertip stretching back. All right, other side. Left hand is helping your ribs to know where they are. Press the back of the ribs into the ground with the right arm up. And then slowly take it over, turning the tricep of this right arm towards your face. You can even grab, if you feel like your ribs are going to stay put, you can use your other hand, left hand, to the tricep and roll it towards you to take the arm a little bit more into a stretch. Okay, here we go. This is what we've been building up to. Take the left hand down, roll to the right. The left hand is going to go into Gomukhasana, behind the back, with the palm facing back. It will be in a moment facing the ground. So you can wiggle your hand around, get it up to the back of the heart, and then slowly, keyword slowly, we're going to roll back onto our back, spreading the palm and landing on the palm. You're squishing your left hand a little bit. That's okay, as long as your mat is thick enough. All right, from here, press down through the feet, scoop the tail, and take a little bit of a bridge pose. Feel how it feels. Maybe a little bit higher, just to get the left shoulder starting to open up. A little higher bridge, and a little higher bridge. All right, lengthen, pull back on the heels to lengthen, bringing the hips down. And then bring the knees in towards your heart. And gently and slowly, we're going to take the knees. Not everyone is going to even need to do this, but you're going to take the knees slowly to the left, getting into a little ball. And I've actually gone a little bit too far, so I'm coming back. We want the hand now to land more on the left side of the rib. So if it's too far across the back, you won't feel it as much. You can take your hand out, put it behind the left ribs, plant it down, lift your bridge. It won't feel like as much right away, but then when the knees go across, there it is. From here, you can take your right arm up to the sky. It's a pretty intense stretch. What this is doing is pressing the bottom corner of the shoulder blade into the ground, but you're using your own body weight to do that. Bring the right hand across to the left ribs, maybe even right under the left collarbone, and inflate the left lung right underneath the collarbone. Take the right arm to the sky and then take it across And then from there, you can even stretch the legs. If there's space, you can extend through the knees. We want the breath response and the sweet spot. So go to the place where the wave of the breath is its biggest, its fullest. All right, and gently bend the knees. The deeper you go, the more careful you have to be coming out of this. So moving super slow, you'll take the knees to the right side and releasing the hand. The left hand is just going to go right into Shavasana. So turn the palm to face up. Roll, you can lift the shoulder, roll the bicep towards the ground to really open it up again. We just want to get energy flowing again into the left arm. And you can take your left arm to a snow angel shape, taking it all the way overhead and all the way out to the side like a big beautiful wing. And here we go, other side. So maybe just feeling side to side here first. My left shoulder feels like it has like space and air and blood flow and all of these things it was missing before. So take the right hand now underneath the heart. You'll lean to the left, put it at the back of the heart, and then lean back so that instead of reverse prayer like we had earlier, you've got your palm right at the back of the heart. Press the feet down into the ground and take a little bridge. So this is pretty intense, but this could be as far as you need to go. You can see what you need. Lift the toes, pressing evenly into the footprints. Make sure your bridge pose includes the lift of the heart, and then the hips, and then the heart, and then the hips. All right, we're toning this right shoulder for a nice opening. So before we go across into the deeper version, take the hand now. It's going to go just behind the right ribs rather than the spine. Lean again onto your back. Little bridge pose action. When you do this bridge, do it in a way that encourages your right shoulder blade to soften down the back. Like you can think of the back pocket like of a jean, and you're sliding right into that pocket with the shoulder blade. From here, draw the knees in. Carefully and slowly, we're going to roll our weight to the right ear to the ground, left arm crossing, it's a deep stretch for the shoulders. Keep thinking about that right shoulder blade going into the back pocket. Take your left hand right underneath the collarbone on the right side, because that tends to be the place where we collapse and then where the breath doesn't reach. So you want to lift and inflate. See if we can bring some brightness to that right side of the chest. And then just let time do its thing. Let your breath do its thing. Let your body do its thing, unwinding, letting go of tension and knots and blockages of energy with each breath. One more deep breath. Deepest breath of the day. Right into the right side of the chest, under the collarbone. And slowly unwind. So we go to the left so that the right arm has a chance to just unravel right into Shavasana. And then once you get all released, pick up the right shoulder, roll your bicep towards the earth. Really letting it soften back. All right, from here we just want to integrate all the spaciousness and all of that deep stretching for the shoulders. So extend the legs forward. Let's go right into Shavasana. Again, pick up the shoulders one time on each side and roll your biceps towards the earth. Feel the skin, feel the layers of musculature across the upper back. Let the base of the heart just soften right towards the earth. Softening the grip. Any last grippings in the body through your fingers and toes. The shoulder. So we want to feel who we are now. So resting in Shavasana, feeling the version of yourself that you're able to uncover once we get all that tightness out. It's really empowering to know that you created this. You were able to find your way back in your body. Bend the knees and gently roll to your left side. And let's come up to seated. Let's take a moment of closure with a nice big circle for the shoulders. So forward, up, turn the palms up. Exhale the shoulders down the back. Rest your hands, palms face up on the thighs, with your elbows right underneath the shoulder joint. So the maybe tendency for most of us is to have the elbows forward of the shoulder joint, but slide it back so that your elbows are hanging right underneath your shoulders. Lift up through the heart.
And with your eyes closed, witness this whole structure around the heart. The weight of the upper arms just dripping, like your elbows could land right on the ground. So much just draping of all the muscles that were tight are now just open and soft. Thank you so much for sharing this experience with me. Namaste.
Flying too close to the sun. Flying too close to the sun.